I've never seen this person's videos before. This is Will Tennyson. I investigated the country where it's illegal to be fat. If only the U.S. had this. If only the U.S. had this, how many people would be forced to actually exercise? Yeah, I would be forced to exercise.
Don't be fat, don't be ugly, don't be poor.
I'm sure you know, like, it's like the plastic surgery capital.
Do you think overweight?
Yep. South Korea is the plastic surgery capital of the world. Even though China has a lot of, since I watch a lot of Wani's videos, they do a lot of plastic surgery, but I think per capita, South Korea has by far the most plastic surgeries everywhere.
Foreigner coming to visit Korea would have a negative experience?
Sadly, I've heard that a lot.
South Korea, the world's beauty capital, where being fat isn't just frowned upon, you're openly shamed.
Shop owners will clearly say to you like, oh, yeah, there's no clothes for you.
In a country where appearance can feel like currency, the pressure to be thin is everywhere. On billboards, subway floors, and storefront windows.
Did it say fat people to the right? What the?
On billboards, subway...
To the escalator, fat people to the, and they even have a beam in the middle of the escalator, so some heavy people wouldn't be able to fit. Oh my gosh. Like, again, some people just can't lose. Like, it's rare. It's a rare where I forget what kind of thing it is, but they just, since birth, they're heavily overweight, but it's rare. Most kids that are overweight, they're just fed fast foods. Parents don't cook for them good food, and they don't learn to lose weight. They don't learn to exercise. They don't learn to stay active. It's funny, I say this when I am the way I am, but I know I need to lose weight. I know I need to lose weight. But it's funny because we used to have like attractive male models posing in underwear. Same thing with female models posing in underwear, or for like, if they were trying to sell a game console, they'd use attractive women. If they were trying to sell makeup products, they'd use attractive women. If they were trying to, like, whatever it was, they were always using attractive people, primarily attractive women, but always thin. Always like the ideal beauty, always like the perfect hair, like that kind of thing. Why? Because people like seeing something that looks nice. Nobody wants to look at something that is several layers too big and whose skin is, or whose skin is oily. Whose skin is oily. Like you feel sick when you like if you're near them, because you can feel like you can smell them. And you've seen those people, like you see them on screen and then you're like, ugh. Like, again, I'm not fat shaming. I just feel like people should be healthy. And there's nothing wrong with that. Of course, this goes a little too far, but people like to see something nice. And the thing is, there should be that mindset. Why? Because we should not be encouraging people, like in the US. How many fat influencers have died so far? I think the majority of fat influencers that started 10 years ago don't exist today. They've died of heart failure. They died of like all kinds of just problems, absolute problems. But I find that crazy. I find that crazy. We should be encouraging people to be healthy, eat properly, eat in moderation. No, it's all about like, again, you don't need to exercise. Like if you just want to naturally lose weight, it's calorie intake versus calorie outtake, right? Is that intake versus outtake? Yeah, that's basically it. Problem is, so many people want to be this. They just want to take in and take in and take in and never actually, like, what is it? I think I need like 2,000 calories, 2,145 on a daily basis with my job and everything to stay healthy. But most of the people who gain weight, it's less. Yet they'll take in like 5,000, 6,000, 8,000.
Floors and storefront windows, a constant reminder to change and be better.
Dude, women are so skinny, they're literally just bones, and it's other extreme. Yeah. Again, that's when it's like, that's why I'm not about because here it's completely fat shaming. So you'll get, is it bulimic? Anorexic, where you kind of throwing up after meals. This is where the kind of bullying where you'll get that kind of mentality. This is the kind of bullying where that you'll get that kind of mentality. Why? Because everyone feels they have to do what they can to improve themselves. They have to do whatever they can, even if they're not getting any nutrients. And then they go down that rabbit hole. But if you're showing them like, oh, this is what beauty is, but you're not like belittling them, like apparently they're doing in South Korea, then they can at least kind of make the choices. But you'll always get bullies, no matter where you are in the world. And you'll always have people who end up falling down the rabbit hole of, well, wanting to throw up to lose their weight.
A standard so intense it's driving a surge in weight loss drugs, extreme dieting, and potentially something much worse.
Okay, so I have to get to 75 kilograms?
I'm here to find out just how bad it really is.
Welcome to South Korea, everybody. Before we get started with the day, I want to see what level of freak show the locals are going to see me as. So behind me, there's a fat test that are in all the parks in Korea. They really just said, let's gamify emotional damage. So whatever I get here is going to dictate how I feel about myself today and probably how I eat. So according to Google Translate, this first one here, it says, you're an alien, ... I mean, I'd rather be called an alien than a fat ass. So I guess if I can't fit through this, I'm not considered human. That was
close.
This next one is, you shouldn't be like this, which kind of sounds like a threat. Oh my God, I'm scraping it. We didn't pass that with flying colors. Level 3, you have a slim heart. Passive aggressive.
The thing is like this wouldn't work for like most Americans because most Americans have broader chests than South Koreans. If I'm being honest, like Asians tend to have more of a slimmer frame than Americans. Americans have more of a broader build, not so much in the gut, but in like our bones. And yes, there is such a thing as big bones, but people use it to get away with being fat. When like for me, if someone takes a picture of me, they just think I'm like an average height, but standing next to like other people, I'm actually tall. Because there are those people who have that like slender build that just who are in the US that just look tall, but there could be like just 6 foot, but it's their slender build that makes them tall. Where me, I'm 6'4", 6'5", something like that. But I look average because I have a broader build.
Oh, I have a slim body. Okay, we're good there. Okay, so the next one is just chubby. So not as wordy as the other ones, but still just as hurtful. Chubby. I think this is changing the breakfast plans very quickly. No.
That's your
Crazy
chest
to
that
think
can't get
that
through,
I'm
man.
considered chubby in Korea, because I like to think that I'm in pretty good shape. So after chubby, here we have average, which I would never be so grateful to be called mid in my entire life. I'd love to be average. And then we have thin, and then here says skinny, and it looks like they've removed actually one of the poles here, because maybe like it was probably too extreme. Like I don't even think a 90-day fast and a caved-in rib cage I could fit through that, because like thin, barely my quad goes through that. And the crazy thing about all of this is that this is literally in the middle of a children's park, and they're probably gonna see this as a game, and you wanna beat the game. So I just go to this, and if I can't fit through it, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to be able to fit through it eventually. So I think it just causes a lot of issues. Korea has a 0-calorie and 0-sugar obsession, and because of that, there's tons of different spots that cater towards that. So if I wanna be able to fit through that tree a little later on, there's certain things that we have to do. So the first spot that we're checking out is the Zero store. So 0 calories and 0 employees. This is just kind of like a serve yourself kind of place. This is pretty sick. I just feel like I found a loophole in my fitness journey. No way. They have 0-calorie ice cream? That's sick packaging, like 0 cal, 0 sugar. They have 0-calorie peanut butter, which sounds like I'd rather have a nut allergy than taste that. And a bunch of high protein foods here. This is sick. Wow. I've never seen a Coke Zero tall boy. Oh, I have to get that. That's so sick. I wonder if they have 0-calorie pizza. Just like cardboard that has a tomato scent. 43-gram protein in that. That's a hefty boy. I swear, I think this must be what heaven looks like.
There was so many different options of zero-calorie, zero-sugar snacks to choose from, especially jelly, which is often seen as Korean Ozempic, providing you with something to fill your stomach with little to no calories at all.
All this unsupervised protein is pretty incredible. Koreans must be trustworthy. All right, so we got a few things from the Zero store. We got to start off with the zero-calorie ice cream. I don't like. What is this? Is this supposed to be like great white shark flavor? Like, it doesn't really tell me anything, and I can't really understand the back of it. But it's pretty in your face about being 0 calories. So
Zero, 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 zero.
All right, so visually,
What?
shark-like, as in gray and ominous. It looks like meat that's been left in the
It looks like a shark's fin. It looks like a shark's fin.
freezer for like a month. It smells actually fire though. Wow, what? Not as offensive as I thought it was gonna be. That's actually quite good. There's a lot of flavor going on. I thought it was gonna be very neutral. It's very fruit punchy. Oh. When you bite it, it doesn't taste bad. It just doesn't taste like anything, really. Just the outside's very fruity. Inside's nice and like red like that. But if I was on a diet to keep my mouth out of trouble, very good. We're gonna be trying the infamous cutting jelly, as in the malnutrition maximizer, because there's literally, I mean, there's nothing in it, 0 calories. This is just really to fill volume in your stomach. Not bad. Have a couple of these, like 3 of them for breakfast, and you're good. Crazy to think right now, as we speak, I'm losing weight eating ice cream and jelly. There's no calories in it, but I'm burning calories talking to you. Think about that. We got a protein muffin, 200 calories, which practically at this point feels like a binge. I don't know if I should do it. I kind of feel bad. I want to fit through that tree. Nailed it. Just a chubby boy in Korea enjoying a muffin.
Running on just 200 calories for the day, I headed to another spot built entirely around low-calorie, zero-sugar options.
We're in a zero sugar cafe right now where the owner actually invented their own sweetener called Swello. Not to be confused with the Pokemon. But as you can see, they have protein overnight oats, no sugar added cream pudding. I got 2 spoons with my order, so I don't know if I'm being fat shamed right now because
You know, 2 spoons. I don't know. I if it's healthy, I don't mind. Because some of those things, it's just like, you know what? Maybe a healthy option is not bad. It makes sense. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I'm not giving up my ice cream for some knockoff, some weird knockoff. But I mean, if it tastes good, it tastes okay, right? It tastes okay.
to me, this looks like a meal for one. But maybe she thinks that I need to share it. The chubby boy over here. But we got the overnight oats. We got a drink. I've given this place multiple opportunities to earn my trust. So it's sugar-free, low-calorie, and gluten-free. So my mouth isn't exactly watering over here, but you never know. Let's try this overnight oats. Oh, it's thick. Just put it in right like that. I love when it's thick. If it doesn't fight back a little, I don't want it. That's fire. My blood sugar isn't spiking, but my happiness levels definitely are. So flavorful. Swello needs to be FDA approved ASAP. How many calories? Wow. Now we have this coffee drink with a sugar-free foam on the top. It's a butter pecan flavor. Scrumptious. So far, we have been given every opportunity to be skinny and no opportunity to blame the food.
After eating, I met up with Korean-American content creator Daniel Oh, who uses psychology, philosophy, and his cross-cultural perspectives to help women build self-love.
So am I considered kind of like chubby?
To help women build self-love. I think it doesn't make sense to have a body-shaming culture and then have a content creator who tries to have self-love, pushes self-love kind of content. I mean, I don't want to insult him, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure he has no obese women on his feed talking about how they should love themselves. If he's ever to talk to an overweight woman, it's probably going to be after she's had to lose like 50 kilos. That's how overweight they are here in the US. Because it's like there was that just one clip, and it was that the white girl, and it was like, of course, she's not overweight.
In Korea?
Not chubby, you would just be considered like a buff dude. If you look at the vast majority of like idols, for example, they're really skinny. I even have a friend who was an idol trainee, but he started working out and he wasn't even like bodybuilder big. Like he was probably around my size, and they were like, you can't be an idol anymore because you're too big.
Wow.
So they actually dropped him from the training program because they were like, you're gonna be too big compared to everybody else on stage.
What is the ideal male and female physique?
I think for men, it's the same anywhere in the world. You gotta be tall, right? So if you're 180 and above, that's like, you're considered handsome because you got that going for you. Yeah, so Will definitely would be considered a handsome guy.
Ms. Scribbler, you are a lucky woman. You are a very lucky woman.
Korea. But actually, I could use this Will as an example of like why you would be considered a handsome guy by Korean standards.
Okay.
Yeah. So you also have what's considered like a small face.
Okay.
So in Korean society, when people say you're beautiful, you're handsome for men or women, one of the things they'll comment on is like, wow, you have such a small face. Basically, what it means is like if you look at the proportion of your face to the rest of your body, like it looks smaller, right? And so that's what people mean by having a small face. It has a lot to do with proportions. Okay. And of course, you have like a very defined jawline. So I think in that regard, it's not too different from what the standard would be for men anywhere you go in the world, right? And then for women, this is like super stringent standards. There's like a specific angle of like your forehead to your nose, and then an angle of
Okay, A, B, and C. I'm gonna be honest. I don't see a difference. I don't see a difference. Okay, maybe the first person looks American. Looks American. With the nose and everything, but I don't really see much of a difference because the only thing I notice is like really the lips. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it in all of them.
like your nose to this part of your face right here. And so like those angles are all like measured according to like what's called the golden ratio or the Fibonacci sequence. If you are, I think, over 60, I would say like 4 kilograms, you're considered like chubby for a,
64 kilograms?
Yeah, for a Korean woman.
Regardless of the height.
Yeah, regardless of the height too. Yeah, it's tough because nowadays Korean women, like they are also conscious of like their breast size, but because like naturally Korean women just don't have a lot of like subcutaneous fat, it's hard to get that naturally. So one of the most common procedures that women will get is like breast implants, right? And
crap, man, I'm shorter than Elliot Page, but I don't mind since he's playing Achilles short guy rule, baby. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think. What was it? Has people gotten taller as time has progressed, or have people gotten shorter? I forgot. There's like a something about it where I think back in the day people were shorter on average than they are now. Like now, most people are pretty tall than what they were back in the day. Like people have increased in height and I guess girth, especially in the West.
it's like, again, sometimes you can kind of tell because it's like you have a very skinny woman, but her like breasts are large. And it's kind of like, well, how do you get that? That's kind of like, I would say, the most toxic aspect of the beauty standard that Korea is known for.
As soon as we started walking, we were flooded with more zero-calorie stores on every corner, plastic surgery ads everywhere, and impossible beauty standards at every turn.
These are the kinds of signs that you see in front of every single gym. Like, talk about a transformation. Like, I don't think I've ever related so hard to a before side of a transformation in my life. Like, when I see this, I don't see motivation or inspiration. I just see pressure. So these ads on the wall, this is not.
I saw a nice little 8-pack. That's what I saw. I don't know. I didn't see anything, you know. I don't know. I guess it's because I'm comfortable with who I am. I know a lot of people seem to struggle and they judge themselves off of other people. Me, I have no problem seeing somebody and then being like, that, like maybe I'll be like, I'd like to get to that point. But who can dedicate so much time, so much effort into something like that when they have more important things to do? That's the thing. It's just like, in my case, that would be more of a hobby that I pick up. But this is a hobby right now. I'm dedicating my time to you guys instead of at the gym. But after this, I am going to go exercise just a little bit. Tori. Just a tiny little bit. Un poco. Just a little bit. But it helps. It helps. Every little bit helps. Like, I'm still sore from yesterday, from the exercise yesterday. But that's the thing. As long as I keep up with it, I'll do better. And I'll lose weight. Because I do want to lose weight. I want to be healthy.
Not possible to be attained naturally.
You can get it naturally, but there are some markers that show that it is plastic surgery. So for example, this like angle from forehead to nose bridge is kind of what I was talking about earlier of like that ideal
Another day
angle
just
that
chatting,
like,
yep.
women want. And then this like pointed nose and this angle from like here to here, again, more often than not, you actually need an implant to get that pointy nose because it's very rare to see that like just naturally through genetics.
And then the husky blue eyes.
Yeah, so the lenses, now it's to the point where like a lot of women will feel self-conscious going out and not wearing lenses because it's just become so, you know, commonplace.
So would you say anime has a big impact on the style and how people look?
I think it has a lot more.
How dare you blame anime? How dare you? Anime has nothing to do with it. Anime has nothing to do with it. Or else, yeah, I'm not going to say it. I'm just not going to say it. Let's just say animes, normally the art style in anime is big eyes. Big eyes. That's what I'm going to say. That's where I'm going to end it.
more to do with Korea is such a trends-driven country. So if they see like, oh, you know, this influencer that I follow on social media started wearing colored lenses, like I want to do that too. Yeah, and then like trends just move so fast.
So we're walking by a bunch of these markets, and the clothing is so small, it's insane.
On this tag over here, it says F, which stands for free. So free size is basically the idea that like it's like stretchable. So if you're a Korean person, you should be able to fit.
Like one size fits all?
Yeah, but as you can see here, it's not a very friendly size for a lot of foreigners, right?
I think I'm at a pet store shopping for my dog.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I feel like in the States I'd see this at like the children's place.
Yeah,
You know, but, like
I think that if I went into a store and asked for my size, they'd just hand me a salad or something.
The fact that Korean women's clothes fits on an American toddler. Because, well, we're just bigger here. We're just built different.
Like that is great. I don't even think my quad could fit in that.
yeah, I think that's actually, you know, you're right. Yeah, that's like the size of one of your quads.
That's literally my quad. I have a mini schnauzer at home. This would fit him, I think.
But we wanted to see if the men's clothes had more realistic sizes.
So I kind of want Will to try this one because it says here OF, which stands for overfit, and it's the idea that like it's a baggier fit. So
Yeah, I don't know, man. I literally cannot fit my head through it.
there is a button if you want to unbutton that thing there and see if you could pull it through.
There we go. Oh. I mean, I can get it on.
Like if a Korean dude was wearing it, it's supposed to be very loose, but now you just look like a private school.
I'm not gonna lie, that fit looks good on him. That looks good on him. It looks good. Well, that's because he works out. That's because he works out. He's got a good tone build. He's tone. He's not over. He's just tone, and it looks good on him.
Yeah, look at this cool boy.
That's supposed to be like a baggier fit, I believe, but you make it look like a regular fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only have to fly halfway across the world for my calves to feel above average. But the fact that this is oversized, I kind of feel fat.
Dieting alone can't always get you the body that you want, which is why Korea is packed with beauty clinics promising to speed up the process.
Hi, we just want to see like if you have like a menu of different like fat loss options. Lipolysis injection. So these are kind of like the fat melting injections that I talked about.
Okay.
So they got like stuff for double chin over here, contouring for the face, and it's 99,001 for.
Maybe, Miss Scribbler. Should we take a flight to? Well, should I take a flight to South Korea? Maybe.
a session. So
Clean
that'll
it
be,
up
like,
a bit.
Around right now with the exchange rate, maybe no, not even like maybe like $70. So this is like specifically targeting arms, thighs, abdomen. It's like very popular because again, it's like it's hard to actually do the work of like eating properly, moving properly, right? But it's like why do all that when you can just melt it off?
Yeah, and like the proportions that are really like people want to see are literally impossible to get. So you have to do it this way.
That's right, because you can't target fat loss through natural means, right?
You guys want to see the amples, right? This is the violet injection, one of the most famous fat melting injection in the world. It actually kills the fat tissue.
Are there some of the people coming in pretty young asking for this stuff?
Yeah, sometimes, but usually for activity.
Did you ever have any like thinner people come in requesting stuff like this?
Sometimes. But I try to tell him to do another thing, like more smooth way. This is kind of aggressive way to reduce fat.
So what do you think of Korea's body image culture?
100%. Actually, I like it because I get money from those kind of pictures. But
At least he's honest about it. At least it's like, hey, I get advantage of this whole thing. I'm okay with
I don't
it.
think that is a super dangerous thing because, cultures from the America or the Europe, they are really damaging their health. Ideal culture must be between the European style and Asian style.
What's your opinions on Korean beauty standards?
Yeah, so I'm French. I feel it's much more standardized in Korea. So
Yeah. When you moved here, did you look a lot different than you do now?
so when I moved here, I was overweight basically. There was kind of a pressure myself to fit in. Like in France or in Europe, you will never have, kind of negative remarks. But in Korea, they'll be like, oh, that's why you're fat.
Also, they're a lot more like forward here.
Yeah, exactly. Which, to be honest, is not
A Frenchman for
that bad.
sure.
Once I've lost weight, it's like much more direct also on the other way.
If I did gain a little bit, people would make a comment straight away and say like, oh, you gained some weight. And the whole reason to make that comment is like, I noticed you, or like I care about you. And so you're supposed to feel good. Like you're supposed to be like, oh, she noticed and like she really cares about me and she thinks I should lose weight for my health.
Are Koreans a lot more direct with how you look? Because I feel like in North America, if someone gained weight, you wouldn't really say it, but maybe you just like think it. So here they actually would just tell you straight to your face.
Straight to your face. Even like when I meet up with my friends and I haven't seen them in a while, if like my skin is looking worse, they'll be like,
They'll
oh
tell you.
yeah, you just looks like you got some trouble on your face. If I look a little bit bigger, like first thing they'll be like, oh my god, your face looks a little bigger than the last time I saw you. You look like you gained some weight. Or like vice versa, you look like you lost weight.
Do you like?
I see that as a nice thing. I don't know how we've gotten to the point where we see that as rude. If someone looks like they're overweight, I think people should be allowed to tell them they look overweight. Why? Because they're risking their health. They're risking their lives when they could probably just maybe go outside for a walk every now and then. Like that's what I started doing. I just started going out for a walk. Now I'm doing stretching, and then I also work on top of all that, and then I do this for a hobby. But it's like you have to start at least somewhere, but you have to at least let them know that there is a noticeable change, whether worse or better. If you see something better, let them know. But if you see it get worse, you have to let them know. It can't just be every time something looks like it's improving, that's when you can tell them, oh, you look like you've lost so much weight. Why is it we can easily tell people, oh, it looks like you've lost so much weight. I'm happy for you. But when they gain a ton of weight, you can't be like, what's happened? Why'd you gain so much weight? Why are you so fat now? How come one's accepted and the other one isn't? South Korea's got the right idea about it. People should be able to call it out. Just like someone gains a ton of weight in a short period of time, obviously something's up.
How forward people are in Korea, or what do you think about that?
솔직히 말하자면 조금 처음 보는 사이에도 약간 무리하게 이쁘다 아니면 뭐 코가 만약에 크면은 뭐 코가 크다든지 이런 식으로 좀 중심적으로 외모에 대해서는 말하는 게 있어서 그게 좀 저는 좀 무례한 것 같다고 생각하고.
Could you ask her to tell me like the first thing she thinks about when she sees me, and to not worry, I won't get offended?
이제 솔직히 말씀해 주시면 감사하겠습니다.
처음에는 일단 키가 큰 게 눈에 띄었고요.
혹시 전체적인 체중에 대해서 그런 거는 눈에 띈 건 없었어요?
체중? 네. 그런 건 눈에 띄는 것 같아요. 몸이 좋은.
We were longtime friends, and you saw me for the first time. Like, what would you have to say to me?
There's a golden proportion of your face I learned recently. It's like 1, 1, and 0.8. So maybe your like bottom is a bit long, like this part.
My bottom's a bit long. That's it.
And like you could get some facial for your skin.
Is it hard being a girl in Korea?
I think so. There's many things that girls need to do to upkeep their appearances.
시선 같은 게 좀 여자들이 좀 뚱뚱하면 뒤에서 말 나오는 것도 있고 몇 번 들리는 말도 있으니까 그런 것 때문에 더 신경이 쓰이는 것 같아요.
We've been walking around looking for interviews, but we were getting no luck with girls because they're all just like, they don't have makeup on, their hair's not done, their outfit's not good. So most of them are rejecting us right now. It's like they want to do it, but they just
Turn
don't feel
around and
confident
walk
enough to go
away.
for it right now.
Actually, the person we just asked, she does have makeup on, and she still didn't want to do it because she wasn't confident.
She needs more makeup on. So we've been asking girls to do interviews, and a lot of them are just like, oh, I have no makeup on, I can't. Like, is that very common?
Oh yeah, if you like leave the house without makeup on, then mostly you'd wear a cap or like a mask to cover your face.
When looking for like a girlfriend, like what kind of traits are you attracted to?
외적으로 봤을 때는 저는 약간 좀 눈이 크고 좀 예쁜 헤어스타일이 있는 사람을 좀 좋아하는 것 같아요. 그리고 약간 내적으로 봤을 때는 뭔가 자기 일에 집중하고 뭐랄까 자기 본인의 일을 할 때 좀 행복해하는 사람을 좀 바라는 것 같아요.
What's the main reason, in your opinion, as to why a lot of people in Korea are so skinny?
그게 조금 사람들이 보기에 건강해 보일 수도 있다고 생각을 하고 또 뚱뚱하면 좀 건강하지 않다는 생각을 가지고 있는 것도 같기도 해요. 또 이게 사람들 생각으로는 신체 그러니까 이 체중을 빼는 것은 자기 노력으로 되는 부분이라고 생각을 하기 때문에 좀 스키니한 몸매를 좀 더 이상적으로 보지 않나 이렇게 생각해요.
How do you think Korean people look at fat people in the street?
Mostly that they don't care about themselves and they don't care about their family too, because a lot of the family members usually, as I mentioned, if you gain a bit of weight, would say something. So
Okay.
it's kind of like you didn't care about what your family said, or your family not pointing out that you're unhealthy.
Would you associate skinny with being healthy?
To a certain point, I think it can contribute to like better health because I think having more weight on you can really hurt your knees a lot and your joints. That's one of my problem that my parents have. So I think that kind of.
So if someone's getting a sex change operation, getting a tattoo, smoking publicly, we all should tell them not to do it. If it's your friend and you think that's a big mistake, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm not going to travel to some stranger and tell them they're overweight, but like that person was referencing, like I was said, it's like if it's a friend, yeah, you should have the right to be able to put in your 2 cents. Why does your friend want a sex change? Why is he smoking? That's bad for his health. Why does he want to mark his body with a tattoo? Has he thought it through? Like all those things, that's perfectly reasonable to talk to him about it. I mean, I don't understand if you're trying to say something, because yeah, you should be able to address them. You want to know why, because who knows? Maybe something happened in their life, which is why they want to scar up their body with a tattoo. Maybe they feel like they're mentally unstable and they need some actual help, or maybe they have a bad experience with the opposite sex and they want a sex change or something, or maybe they're a closeted homosexual or something like that. Like that kind of stuff does happen, and you should talk with them. There's nothing wrong with talking to them when they're gonna do something drastic to their life, or they're doing a change in their life. You should be able to talk to your friends and not be like, I'm with you for no apparent reason. You should be able to talk to them.
Weight really, if they didn't have it, I think they'd be feeling a lot better and they'd be a lot healthier for sure.
So would you rather be skinny or healthy?
I think be healthy. I mean, I think some of them kind of overlap in some extent.
Yeah.
But I think being healthy is more important, and just living like a long and happy life is more important.
Do you think an overweight foreigner coming to visit Korea would have a negative experience?
Sadly, I've heard that a lot. Shopping is difficult too, and when you go shopping, the shop owners will clearly say to you like, oh, yeah, there's no clothes for you. Like the reaction is very obvious, and I think they feel a bit left out sometimes.
Are there any extremes that people do to like look a certain way here?
I mean, I think the most extreme one, most obvious one is like plastic surgery. But I know there's like, especially with the women, they go on like really crazy diets. Back like 10 years ago, this is one K-pop idol called IU. I don't know if you know her.
No.
But one of her diets were like infamous because like all she ate for the day was like 1 sweet potato, like 1 apple, and like ice cubes or something. So she'd have like 200 calories for the day, and that, like she lost like 10, 15 kilos in like 2 weeks or a month.
And a lot of people follow that, right?
Yeah, exactly. A lot of women follow that kind of thing. So yeah, it's definitely very severe.
K-pop starvation diets don't just stay in the industry. They reshape
So it's just that the strangers doing it should not concern us. No, you shouldn't concern yourself with someone that doesn't matter. That's my honest opinion. You should. I know a lot of people don't think that way. They think every single opinion in the world is something that should be held sacred to. But no, those opinions don't matter. If my best friend told me, asked me something, or questioned me on something, I'd listen. My wife asked me, I'd listen. My parents were asking me, I'd listen. Some random dude or even a coworker, I'm not paying attention to them. I don't care about my colleagues. They're not important. I'm there to do a job. But other than that, I mean, if they're important to me, yes, I listen. But to strangers, I don't care. I don't care.
How people everywhere see food and body image. When extreme restriction is framed as discipline and constant hunger starts to feel like progress instead of a warning sign, that mindset spreads fast, with people normalizing undereating and fearing calories just to chase an unrealistic look, like calling 130 calories a meal.
Let people do whatever they want with their bodies. You can tell them in your opinions if they're close. Yeah, if they're close, that's the thing. But no matter what, people will always get in your face about things. People will always get in your face about things. I think that's the real issue, where I think that's what South Korea deals with, where if someone overweight comes through, everyone's targeting them. Instead of it just being friends that are targeting them, everyone's targeting them. I think that's where it becomes an issue. That's where it becomes an issue, because everyone has their own bias and everyone will let you know. But the thing is, if I'm overweight, I'm already know I'm overweight. What does it matter if someone else tells me I'm overweight? It doesn't change who I am or how I feel about myself. But not everyone has that kind of mindset. A lot more, most people are a little more sensitive about that kind of thing, which is kind of sad that people seek gratification from others. That when others tell them, oh, you look like this, you're this is bad about you, it hurts them. It hurts them deep down that some random nobody thinks of them poorly. But that's always how I've always talked about it. Oh, they're just random nobodies. They're just random nobodies. You have to talk yourself up about everything. You just do.
Or using formulas like height minus 120 as a body weight goal. So I spoke with a K-pop singer who had to stay anonymous to avoid backlash about what that pressure actually feels like behind the scenes.
Do you think there's a lot of pressure on you to be skinny?
Yes, for my fans.
Is that good?
I don't think so, but they need, my fans need like that.
Korea ranks very high on rates.
Yeah.
Why do you think that would be?
Idol culture.
Idol culture.
Yes, they need skinny shape and pretty face.
So this rates being so high, you think are related to the K-pop culture?
Yeah, I think so.
So the girl back in the cafe said that she needs to be skinny for her fans. Does that make sense to you?
Oh yeah, 100%. I would imagine that like a lot of her success is going to depend on her followers and fans hyping her up, sharing her music, and just continuing to engage with her content. But if she were to gain weight, then they're just going to like lose all interest in her because
regardless of talent?
Oh yeah, regardless of talent, because it's just kind of like no matter how talented you are, it's not like I couldn't find 15 other people who are equally as talented as you. So if you want to make it, you have to be talented and you got to be beautiful and you got to be a great dancer, rapper, like.
See, I think this is why everyone wants to be the influencer culture. So they just put a filter on themselves to make them look skinny. Like how many influencers are out there that nobody knows what they actually look like because they live a fake life. Oh my gosh. Do you think being overweight in South Korea could be gender biased? I'm sure it is. I'm sure women are targeted more than guys. But that's normally the case when it comes to beauty standards. It normally targets the women more than guys. Sure, guys do fall victim to beauty culture. Absolutely. But I think women are the ones who fall victim to it far more than guys, even though both do get their fair shakes of it.
That's the industry.
So we found a place for lunch called Preppers, which it kind of sounds like contest prep, like you're prepping for something. And then the funny thing is, it says Preppers diet food, not healthy food, because I feel like healthy food wouldn't be as much of a draw to go in. Like diet just sounds like more like weight loss, right?
Yeah, I think you nailed it on the head. That would be my guess too. And yeah, I think it is for like weightlifters, and I see more and more popping up all over the place.
So a bunch of pasta bowls, rice bowls. You recommend the double bowl?
Yes, for me, only the double bowl gives me enough protein. Combo comes with a drink. For example, amino drink over here.
Oh, you get amino drinks?
That's one of their things that they're known for. I have yet to try it, but I heard it's pretty good. So, and then they got like protein milkshakes and stuff.
Protein coffee milkshake, that sounds amazing. Like places like this in North America, like don't show up. And I feel like that's because there's like, they don't think there'd be enough traction.
Right.
So I feel like there's obviously a lot of traction and like demand for this.
Yeah. Like for me, when I first came to Korea, they didn't have shops like this. So I missed like Chipotle or like Kava, because you could get pretty good macros for those, even though they have like high sodium. But you know, now they got stuff like this.
It's not every day you see a fountain drink station where it's only the zero sugar stuff. I feel like Coke Zero is water here. And I respect that. Cheers, man.
Cheers.
When a place has Sprite Zero, you just know it's gonna slap, because this is a rarity. Like this is a rare
Really?
find. Most places have Coke Zero. Sprite Zero, you don't know how lucky you got it, man.
Wow, it's everywhere here in Korea, so I just assumed that it was, wow.
And also the fact that this place is 24 hours is insane.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I love that, yeah.
Oh, I wanted to get the pasta bowl, but I feel like if I ordered that, I would have got bullied or something. It seems like a trap. Like who gets the pasta in Korea? All right, here we go.
You wanna make sure you mix it all up nice. Ooh, that's a big boy bite.
So good.
Good?
Nice. I like that it's a reflective plate. You know, so you get to the bottom of the plate, you can see your skinnier reflection when you're done. What would you say is like a big factor in Korea's low obesity rate? Would you say it's all lifestyle, or is there any like genetic components to that?
So I think one of the things that people don't know is that in addition to the social pressure that there is to stay thin and stay healthy, East Asians have a way lower subcutaneous fat cell count than our Western counterparts. And this is quite common in Korea. Well, you'll see like those skinny fat body types, right? Well, you'll see men or women that don't look that fat, but they have really high visceral fat levels just because there's not a lot of subcutaneous fat that can hold it. So they won't look as big, but they'll still have heart issues, diabetes, prediabetes, insulin resistance, like all across the board. So it doesn't take that much size for a Korean person to be equally as unhealthy as like, you know, a European-based or, yeah.
Okay. How many calories would you say this bowl is?
If I had to guess, I would put it around 600.
Okay, I was gonna be like around 700. Have you heard of macro?
I mean, it wouldn't have a lot of calories. There's a lot of protein, a lot more protein.
Doctor, it's the quickest and easiest way to track your calories. Okay. And if you don't have a place that has the calories on in your bowl, take a photo, and it gets pretty close.
That'd be awesome.
So, boom, uploading. So it even says the rice steak, scallions, sesame seeds. Okay, so 775 calories in the plate. Yeah, it's pretty accurate. So, I mean, it tells you all the macros, and you just log it to your...
Dude, that's nuts.
Yeah.
There's also a new feature where you can upload a recipe including ingredients,
Product
instructions,
placement.
and servings, all with just a snap of a picture.
So if you guys want to try the Macro Factor app, make sure to use code WILL for 2 weeks free. We are now in Cheongno, which is known as the obesity drug mecca of the world. And literally,
Yeah, I was talking about less normalized stuff like sex change, as they said, since most people aren't giving opinions on it because they care for the person, but rather some sort of bias against that. I mean, again, a lot of stuff I personally believe people have reasons as to do it. Why does someone start smoking? Why does someone get tattoos? Why does someone have a multitude of piercings? Maybe it's some kind of aesthetic they're chasing. Maybe it's some kind of look. Maybe it's some kind of scarred childhood memory. Like there's always reasons for it. And I hate, like, again, I don't want to get into my childhood entirely, but I hate how a lot of the times, instead of finding the root cause to something, we try to, we treat the effects of it instead of finding the root cause. And that's one thing I hate, where doctors will just throw medications at things. And this is kind of why I really started hating doctors, is they'd throw medications at things instead of finding out, okay, why do you have this symptom? How'd you get to this point? Why do you think this? Why do you feel this? Instead of any of that, it's just like, oh, you're dealing with blackouts. Okay, maybe this is what's going on. Let's throw 4 pills at this. That's one of the problems, and I hate that. I hate that. I dealt with that as a kid, where I was constantly taking medication for things that honestly weren't even a problem. It was just the doctors refused to listen to me, and they just threw pills at me instead of actually finding out the root issue.
every single building is a pharmacy just selling fat loss drugs. It's actually pretty insane. So there's a pharmacy right here, and then there's a pharmacy right here, and then literally like 5 more feet, there's another pharmacy right here, and then next door is another pharmacy, and then across the street, there's more pharmacies over there, which is like, I don't know why you need this many pharmacies. I guess the demand is super, super high. So we are gonna see how easy it is for me to go to a clinic, get a prescription, and get some Wegovy. Let's see. Is it here? Here? Oh shit.
Wow.
He might be busy.
Yes. 네, 이 외국인 친구인데요. 그 마운자로나 위고비 처방을 받고 싶어서. What's the name that you use in Korean?
Will.
Will.
I just walked in, said my name, gave my ID, and it's good.
Do you have a preference of Wegovy or Mounjaro?
What does he recommend?
어떤 걸 추천해 주실 수 있을까요? He said then you would have to get a consultation with the doctor.
So I can see him here right now?
Right now.
Is it a long wait?
I don't think it's gonna take that long.
Okay, we're in the waiting room right now for the weight loss drugs. Everyone in here is also looking for the same thing. People are just coming in, asking for it, and like, can I just take a seat with the doctor and be good? So we're gonna have a prescription in like 15 minutes, which is crazy here. Okay. Here we go.
Is it your first time doing Wegovy?
Yes, first time.
How about your height?
6 foot.
How about your weight?
Around 90. 90, yeah.
What is your warranted normal body weight?
I just want to get shredded.
After I gave the doctor,
I just want to get shredded. Oh my gosh. Had a doctor who went to, I had a doctor who would get to the root of things. Yeah, that is amazing. That is amazing. I always exclusively went to him. He passed away from the virus in 2020. Oh, that's sad. That's sad. Yeah, for me, I had one doctor who would always admit when he didn't know something. Like most of my childhood, I was up at Stanford Child Clinic, the Stanford Child Center, whatever it's called. I've already forgotten. But yeah, that's where I spent most of my childhood, because every time I go to the doctor, he's like, I don't know what's going on. But when it came to like something else, I'd go to the doctor and she would always just give me drugs instead of finding out, because I probably would have had my brain surgery years early if I was actually seeing a real doctor who would actually listen to me instead of throwing drugs at me. What is problematic is that Koreans seem to be too specific about how one should look. That is true. That is absolutely true. It is a huge look-based culture, especially since plastic surgery is a thing. They can easily target anyone about any little thing because it's not about being confident with who you are as a human being and who you are as a person. It's about how you can look. With measurements, it puts unnecessary pressure on a person. What if someone is not overweight, but a bit chubby? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like me, I'm overweight. I'm overweight. Some people might say I'm chubby, but I'm overweight. I'm at least, well, double digits of kilos overweight, I'll say.
My height, weight, and goal, he implemented my stats into a BMI chart and called me obese.
In this presentation, you will have some obesity. Your BMI index is 24.47.
And he kept adding lower weights until it put me in the normal category.
If you have some weight was about 15 kilograms, you will enter to the normal body weight. And I'll be healthier? Okay, perfect.
The doctor is telling me I have to lose 15 kilograms or 33 pounds without any sort of background knowledge of my medical history or even my body composition, as fat and muscle ratios greatly impact your BMI score, and these lax measures are causing serious harm. And just like that, within a matter of minutes, I got a prescription, adding to Korea's major drug misuse problem.
Oh, she's asking if you want to get the injection here right now.
No, I'll do it later. Yeah. All right, so this is pretty insane. We got it super easily within like 10 minutes. And there it is. So the doctor said I need to get to 75 kilograms, which now that I'm thinking about it, that's below my bodybuilding contest weight. So I think I would actually die.
Yeah, you'd be like 168 pounds.
So he's a bodybuilder. So he's overweight because he has muscle, and muscle weighs 2 times more than fat. Weighs 2 times more than fat. He's overweight because he has a ton of muscle, and they're encouraging him to literally let his muscles atrophy. Let his muscles be no good.
Yeah. Okay, that's how much I weigh, and I'm 5'8". Yeah.
Yeah, so they don't look at like your body fat percentage. They just go like, okay, height, weight, you're obese. And then there's no other discussion about like, do you work out consistently? Here you go. $150.
Yeah, I don't think he even asked you any questions about your overall health. No. Yeah, there was like no diagnosis. He was just like, oh, you want the drug? Like, okay, here's how to use it. You know, here's some side effects to expect. And I think they even offered to give you your first injection like right now.
Yeah. But I'm not gonna do that. No, I just got it for a problem. I'm not gonna use it. I'm not gonna use it.
It's clear Korea is facing a serious issue that can't be
random
ignored.
person.
The relentless pressure to look a certain way, combined with the deeply ingrained culture of body shaming, is quietly taking a toll on people's lives. Over time, it doesn't just affect how you see yourself, it consumes your thoughts entirely. And eventually, you give in.
That was actually pretty insightful. That was pretty insightful. I mean, the fact that he's selling his book where he's literally wearing nothing but an apron. Wearing nothing but an apron. Man's too confident. Man is too confident. But that's good. And there's nothing wrong with being confident in yourself. But that is kind of sad. That is absolutely sad, the fact that that kind of is the way it is. Because there are different healths. There are different kind of mediums. And I think the most important thing is to be comfortable with who you are. Because, like, I was overweight at one point in my life, especially after all my ailments and everything. I was incredibly overweight. I think I don't even want to say. I don't even want to say. I was incredibly overweight. And I moved for college, and that was right after my brain surgery, after everything. I stopped all the nonsensical medications that I was forced to be on, which some of them actually did force me to gain weight. And then immediately after a year of being in college, I had lost I was at my thinnest weight ever. After 4 years in college, I was thin. I was healthy. But the thing is, as soon as I got my brain surgery and everything, as soon as I was out, I was like, I don't care. I'm just going to do me. I'm just going to do me. I don't care about these meds. I'm tired of taking them. I just want to deal with everything on my own. I don't care about these meds that the doctor told me I needed to take. I stopped everything cold turkey after the surgery because they wane you off and have you on a drip feed for some of them, but not everything. And then I just never took them again. I never took them again, and I've been better ever since. I've been healthier, even mentally and physically, ever since, because I don't have to deal with those constant medications and everything, forcing me to, you know how meds work. They'll make you produce more of certain things. So I gained a ton of weight when I was on them for 20 some odd years of my life till my brain surgery. And then Finally, I get better. Finally, I realize I should just be happy with who I am. And then I start living my life and I start losing weight. And then, yes, I have gained it back because, well, when I moved back home, it's just been ups and downs. But I'm confident with who I am. I'm happy with who I am. I've never gotten back to how much I weighed before my brain surgery, but I'm always afraid I'm going to get to that point. I don't want to get there. I don't. But yeah, you need to be confident in who you are. You have to be confident in who you are. And I think it's sad that South Korea's culture focuses more on the beauty aesthetic than the internal understanding. Just like my experience with doctors as a kid. Well, not doctors, more like one doctor in particular, where they just throw medications at me and not even listen to what the actual root of the problem was. I think most people are not satisfied with who they are. Like some white people think tan is attractive. Yep, that is true. While a brown people want to get as fair as they can. That is absolutely true. We should be healthy, not skin color. Yeah. Again, we should be happy. We should be happy with ourselves and not be chasing some weird ideal. I think that's the crux of the matter. We should be happy and not chasing some random ideal. Too many people are just chasing a random ideal, and that's the problem. Love your opinions on this. I heavily agree with you here. Well, yeah. People just need to be happy. Because then again, there is I'll joke about being the white superior race, but then again, my dad's from Mexico. I am tall, but that has nothing to do with my life. Like, so many people are so focused on like things they don't have control over. Their height, well, your weight you can kind of have, or your looks, like the way your nose is structured, the way your forehead is structured, the way your eyes are structured. I mean, all that just seems kind of nonsensical to me. I mean, you have to be comfortable with who you are. Like, I've always, like, when I was a kid, I was always thinking, especially being sick and everything, there are only 3 opinions that matters. What God thinks of me, what I think of myself, and what my significant other thinks. Having that kind of mindset allows you to go far. Because if you have a significant other, great. If you are a bit of a narcissist, you'll always think highly of yourself, which not everyone does. And then God always loves you. Right? That's kind of the given. So it's like you will always have normally 2 out of 3. If anything, 1 out of 3. And that's still better than the mindset of like, nobody cares for me. And that's a very dark mindset to have, where it's like, nobody cares about me. But who cares about those nobodies? You should care about yourself. You should love yourself. And even if you don't love yourself, God loves you. That's all the mindset you need to have. Why is it that when we're getting fat, belly fat is the first to increase? Belly fat is the last to reluctantly go. For me, it's right here that reluctantly goes. I can lose everything else, and then I just am stuck with this. I'm stuck with this. It doesn't want to leave.
You guys got a video? So bad.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Wait on that.